All right, I think this thing kicked in on me live on me before I was ready. So I'm still setting things up. Luckily, there was nothing there was bad that couldn't be shown. So we will get this game going. Game number 151. The last game I played was on Saturday, the doubleheader against the Angels in the pouring down rain. Well, I didn't play in the pouring down rain, but it was pouring down rain outside the house. And today we start a new 3-game series with the Oakland A's. And a great pitching matchup, Vida Blue against Ken Kravec, the battle of left-handers. All right, so the first thing we want to do, after we bring out the Comiskey Park little picture there, is do ballpark effects. And this is a night game in Chicago in September. So September, right here, night game, Chicago. 1 to 4 is good, 5 to 13 is average, and 14 to 20 is bad. And we get a 19. That's bad weather. So singles are only 1 to 6, and there's no chances for ballpark home runs. So that could not be good for the hitters. Good for the pitchers. 1 to 6 for singles. Home runs, don't even think about it. So we will get this game going as soon as I get the lineups all set up for you. I did have one change to make because the Sox had left fielder Bob Coluccio as their starter, and I don't have a card for him. So Alan Bannister will take his spot. So we got bad weather here tonight at Comiskey. I will show the standings because the standings in the replay, and I hope it's bright enough for everybody, for those that are in there. I hope that if I turn the light on, I'm afraid I'm going to glare. So I'm hoping that it's coming through bright enough where you can see it. Very close race here in the East. Baltimore is a game ahead of Boston as they whittle down the season, and these two teams play the last 2 games of the regular season is Boston and Baltimore playing each other. So what I plan to do is, assuming that this spread doesn't get bigger, it stays within a game, I will play those last 2 games online to do the pennant race. The West is pretty much settled. Texas has got that wrapped up. Magic number is down to 7. They got a 7-game lead on KC. The White Sox are hanging on a half game in front of Minnesota, trying to stick to that 3rd spot if at all possible. All right, let's look at the starting pitchers again for today's game. For the White Sox, it's their Cy Young candidate, Ken Kravec. In the replay, he is 15-2 with a 2.39 ERA. In 22 starts, he's completed 4 of them with 1 shutout, 162 innings, only 136 hits, 48 walks, and 118 strikeouts. So between him and Laren LeGros, they're ones keeping the Sox above water. And for the A's, it'll be left-hander Vida Blue, and in the replay, he is 12-15 with a 4.59 ERA. And in real life, he was 14-19 with a 3.83. So he had 38 starts in real life. This is start number 36 for him. So he's trying to get his record up to 500 if at all possible. Not likely to happen, but you never know. You have to win the last 3 starts to make that happen. Okay, let's go through the starting lineups for both teams, as I need to get the scorebook in here as well. So we'll bring the scorebook in, and we've got Rodney Scott at second, Rob Peachlow at short, Mitchell Page in left, Mike Jorgensen at first, Jim Tyrone's the right fielder, Manny Sanguillen's the DH, Wayne Gross is at third, Tony Armas is in center, and catching is Tim Hosley. I think it's Hosley, something like that, Hosley. And of course, Vida Blue on the mound, 12-15. For the Sox, it's kind of messy. I had to write Alan Bannister in here to play left field because I don't have a Coluccio card. The rest of the lineup's pretty normal. Many of the right-handers they can fit against Vida Blue. You got Orta at second, Zisk the DH, Johnson at first, Lemon in center, Soderholm at third, Nordhagen in right, Kessinger at short, and Brian Downing the catcher. All right, so I think that gets everybody pretty well caught up on everything as far as where we're standing. So let's make sure we got everything in the picture. I think I can lower this a little bit and still fit everything in. That way you can see the cards hopefully a little bit better. We shall see. I think that still fits okay. Here at Comiskey Park, Ken Kravec will be on the mound for the Sox. And he's going to face the speedy Rodney Scott. And you definitely want to keep him off the base pass if at all possible. And as each of the players comes up, I'll give you their up to the season stats as far as how they're doing. Rodney Scott on the replay is hitting .261, no homers and 16 RBIs. He does have 36 steals. So Ken Kravec, the lefty, against the switch-hitting Rodney Scott, batting right-handed, and game 151 is now underway. Now I can sit down since I think everything's in view pretty well. All right, we got a 212 for Scott against the lefty, and that's a hit by pitch plus injury. Not going to do injuries. So we're just saying a hit by pitch, which is in trouble because he's got a good chance to get a jump. Look at it, he's going to get a jump automatically, actually. It says here he gets a jump automatically. 2 through 12. I don't know how you can not get the jump. So I'm not sure why he has a secondary rating there, because this says he gets the jump, 2 through 12, automatic. So that's a 15. Now Kravec is a -1, makes him a 14. He's being held, makes him a 12. So 1 through 12 for Rodney Scott to go, and they're going to take that chance. They're in last place. What do they got to lose? All right, that's a 7, and that means that he's going to make it. So stolen base, Rodney Scott gets the A's going. And let me get to where I was at here so I can make sure that we are in. Make sure you can see what I can see. And it looks like you can. Oh, let me turn the volume down. We don't want echoes here. What I can see. And it looks like you can. Oh, let me turn the volume down. We don't want echoes here. Well, let's get that mute out. Let's get the mute button on there because we don't want to be having that reverberation going on. All right, so I think the dice tray all fits in here now. Okay, so next up is Rob Piccolo, the shortstop, and Piccolo on the replay. Not very well, 187 hitter, 1 homer, 22 runs driven in. See what he can do. Let's check the 20 first of all, make sure nothing's happening on that. It's not. So Kravec to Piccolo, and of course the runner is being held. 3-8 for Piccolo against a lefty. That's a 1-11 single. Only 1 star. 12-20. He lines it to Kessinger at short. That's a 4, so it's going to be a base hit. That'll put runners at the corners with nobody out, and Ken Kravec in trouble early. Piccolo will not be held. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Mitchell Page. Mitchell Page playing left field tonight. And Mitchell Page is leading the A's in hitting at 288. 15 homers and 72 driven in. 15-0 on the 20. So Mitchell Page lefty on lefty against Kravec. 211, and that's going to be a ground ball second base A. Ground ball second base A with the plus sign. So the second baseman is not responsible for holding because of the lefty batter. The shortstop is responsible for holding, so that's not going to affect anything. It will be a 4-6-3 double play. The run will score, but the White Sox will gladly trade that to get the 2 outs. So Mitchell Page, no RBI given. That's a 4-6-3 double play. Run scores. A's lead at 1-0, but now the bases are clear with 2 down. And that's going to bring, hello Tribe fan, how are you? National Left-Handers Day, how about that? Yep, I heard about that. All right, so Mike Jorgensen is up with the bases clear and 2 outs. Jorgensen on the replay, hitting 200 even with 3 homers and 12 runs driven in. And all I did was print these stats off of the computer, so that's what I'm reading. All right, here we go. Jorgensen lefty on lefty. Every roll so far has come off the batter card. 2-9, that's a walk. So Kravec hasn't had a chance. It's been off the batter card every time. He's a C stealer, so I will hold him. I don't think he's going to try to get a jump. Well, he could. You know what? Well, you know what? They're going to hold him right there. All right, so Jim Tyrone, the batter. And Tyrone is in right field. Jim Tyrone on the replay is hitting 217, 8 homers, 39 driven in. Nothing on the 20. Jorgensen is being held at first. 4-8, we finally got something off of Kravec's card, and he ends up being a walk. So back-to-back walks. He's hit a batter and walked 2, so a little bit shaky here in this start. Runners at first and second, 2 down, and that brings up DH Manny Sanguillen. He's tied with Page, hitting 288 on the replay, and he's had 3 homers and 61 RBI. That's an incredible stat, actually. Manny Sanguillen has only hit 3 home runs, but he got 61 RBIs. Reminds me of Tommy Herr in 1985 when he had 8 home runs and 110 RBI. So hello, Al Red Sox. How you doing? Appa Chatter as well. Thank you all for spending part of your Tuesday afternoon / evening with the White Sox and Ken Kravec. All right, so Sanguillen is going to see what he can do. Nothing on the 20. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, 1 run is in. A's lead 1-0. top of the first. 5-7, Sanguine's a righty against Kravec. 5-7 is a ground ball second base X, and that's that dangerous George Orta. He's a 4 E23, and the 11 on the D6 is a total of 11. That's what he's trying to avoid. That gets him every time if the range doesn't get him. This time the range is going to probably get him because that's a 5. And a 4 and a 5 is an SI1, so at least the run won't score. It's just going to load the bases. But he's got to avoid the 11. And there you go, right there on cue. Can you see that, folks? Right there on cue, an 11. 6, 4, and a 1. That's an 11. That's a one-base error. That will score the run. So it's a single plus the error, E4. Orta strikes again. 2-0 A's as Kravec falls victim to shoddy fielding. All right. 2-0 A's brings up Wayne Gross, the lefty, third baseman. He's hitting .266, 25 home runs, 86 driven in. He leads the A's, obviously, in home runs. But lefty on lefty might give him trouble. We'll see. Nothing on the 20. Kravec's got a rebound here. 4-10 is a catcher X. And that could be trouble because there's a run on third, second and third, so any kind of pass ball or wild pitch can really come back and bite them. Catcher X, that's Brian Downing. And Brian Downing as a catcher is a 3 E5. 3 and a 3, that could really be trouble. 3 and a 3 for a catcher is a W/G. So let's see if there's an error involved in that. He's an E5, and that is a 13. E5 and a 13. There is no 13, but it is a W/G. So as we go to W/G, it says with runners on base, the pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. So there you go, wild pitch. That will score the run. It's 3-0 A's. Runner now at third, Gross still at the plate. So Downey not able to block that pitch, calls it a wild pitch. It's 3-0 A's here in the first. That's a 1, chance for another wild pitch as Kravec has a 4. He could wild pitch 2 runs in a row in, but he won't, thank goodness. He's going to make Gross earn it. 5-6, and he struck him out, so finally gets out of that mess. But the A's pick up 3 runs here in the top of the first as they kind of shell shock and ambush Ken Kravec a little bit. It's 3-0 A's as we go to the bottom of the first. And Vida Blue steps to the mound with a 3-0 lead, and he'll be facing Alan Bannister, the left fielder, to start this game. Bannister is replacing Bob Coluccio, who I don't have a card for, but was in the original starting lineup. So, Alan Bannister on the replay. Checks in, 276, 3 home runs, 44 driven in. That's a 2-4 against the lefty. That's a ground ball to third. Wayne Gross is all over it, 1 away. Brings up George Orta, second baseman, just made that error. He's hitting, and that's his 26th error on the season. George Orta's hitting .280, 12 homers and 65 driven in. 2-8 against the lefty. It's a ground ball to second. That's handled over there by Rodney Scott. 2 up, 2 down. Vida Blue's not having the issues that Kravec had. Here's Richie Zisk. Richie Zisk hitting .305, 21 homers and 84 driven in. He is the DH. 3-7, that's all these hits in column 3, and he found a ground ball to Piccolo. So 3 straight ground outs, 1 to each of the fielders, and the Sox go meekly here in the the bottom of the first. And I hope everybody is doing well, those that are watching. Appreciate you taking time to do so. All right, so Tony Armas will lead off the top of the second for the A's. He is the center fielder. And Tony Armas checks in .258, 16 homers, and 45 driven in. 4-5 against Kravec. He is a right-hander. 4-5 is a strikeout. So Kravec strikes out Armas to start the top of the second. Brings up catcher Tim Housley, however you want to pronounce it. He's a minimal player. He's only played 23 games with 54 at-bats. He's hitting .241, 2 homers and 10 driven in. Does walk a lot. 4-6. He's got a chance for a double. 1-6 is a double. Anything else, he will fly to center. And Chet Lemon runs it down, 2 down. Flip the order over, back to Rodney Scott. Rodney Scott walked, stole a base, and scored his first trip. Scored on a double play ground out by Mitchell Page for the A's first run. 2-9 against a lefty, and he's going to fly to right, and that's handled out there by Nordhagen. And a much smoother inning for Kravec here in the second. We go to the bottom of the second, still 3-0 A's. Still plenty of time for the Sox to get some runs, but Vida Blue can be tough when he's on. We shall see. Lamar Johnson, the first baseman, steps to the plate. And Lamar Johnson on the replay checks in, hitting .296, 10 homers, and 62 driven in. That's a 4-11 against a right-hander ground ball to short. So Vida Blue has induced 4 consecutive ground outs to really take control early on. Hello, RJL. How are you doing? It is 3-0 A's in the bottom of the second, in case you're just joined us. Chet Lemon, center fielder, hitting .260, 13 homers, 69 driven in. Against Vida Blue, 3-4. That's a single. That little omega sign's only in a clutch situation, which this is not, so the single will stand. First hit of the game, first base run of the game for the Sox. Now, Vida Blue is a -2 hold rating. Let's check on the catcher. Hosley is a +2, so they cancel out, so it's a net 0 between catcher and pitcher. So if Chet Lemon can get the jump, it would be a 15 -2 makes it a 13. So if he can get the jump, it'd be a 1-13 to steal. But you're down 3-0, but you kind of feel like you have to make something happen at the same time. So they're going to take a chance. 2 through 6 or a 12, he gets the jump. 9, he gets picked off. It's a 3, so he gets the jump. And again, starts with a 15, becomes a 13 because the catcher and pitcher have a net 0. So 1-13, he steals it. And he's caught stealing. Just the way it's been going for the Sox, they can't catch a break. So 2 down, trying to get something started and just didn't work. All right, here's Eric Soderholm, 281 average, 21 homers, 62 driven in. 6-7. 6-7's a ground ball. Second base X, that's Rodney Scott. And Rodney Scott's a 4 E32, so not very good. Might be able to sneak something through here. 4 and 11. A 4 and an 11, I think, is going to be okay. 4 and an 11 checks in as a G3, so he's able to get to that. Got to worry about his error rating, though. It's an E32. That could be problematic. A 10, I think, is going to be okay, though. Let's double check it. E32 and a E32 and a 10. I hit my mute button off here. Hold on. Hit my mute button by mistake. Didn't mean to do that. All right, E32 and a 10 at second base. There's an 11, but no 10, so he's good to go. So that's going to end the inning. So Soderholm is retired. Nothing doing for Sox here in the second. We go to the third. 3-0 A's, still your score. Ken Kravec back out. Coming into this game, he's 15-2 with a 2.39 ERA, but shaky start in the first. Some walks, a wild pitch, error, all kinds of stuff happening. Here's Picholo, shortstop. He singled his first trip. 1-9, and he's not going to single this time. It's a ground ball to Orta, who this time will make the play, and there's one away. I'll bring up Mitchell Page. He hit into the double play his last time. That's a 111, and that's a ballpark home run chance, but we already did the ballpark weather effects and saw that home runs were 0 because it's bad weather, so that's simply going to be a fly out. So 2 down. Horrible conditions here at Comiskey, and so the ball's not carrying at all. No home run at all. Here's Jorgensen. He walked his first time up and came around to score. 110, it's a ground ball back to Kravec to end the inning. So Kravec has now retired 7 in a row, but you're wondering if that first inning is going to be enough to do him in if the Sox can't get some runs going. All right. Vida Blue back out. And Vida Blue and Kravec both have fatigue of 7, so they can go a ways as long as they're effective. Here's Wayne Nordhagen, the right fielder. In 56 games, 124 bats, he's hitting .306. 3 homers and 17 driven in. 5-9 for Vida Blue. He flies to left, and Mitchell Page will haul that in, 1 away. Here's the shortstop, Don Kessinger, switch hitter. Kessinger checks in at .253 with no homers and 10 driven in. 3-5 against the lefty. He's going to ground to Rodney Scott at second, so 2 down. Vida Blue keeping, for the most part, the ball on the ground. Here's Brian Downing, the catcher, and Downing checks in .279, 5 homers and 27 driven in. 5-8 off of Vida Blue. It's a ground ball to third, so Wayne Gross is there. So Vida Blue just chucking along here without any issues so far for the first 3 innings. But sometimes when the order sees you the second and third time around, it can change. We shall see. Right now, Ken Kravec trying to keep it going and keep his team in the game. Jim Tyrone walked his first chance. 6-6, he's a right-hander. 6-6 is a 1-7 for a triple. 8-20, he flies to the left fielder Gar. So can Ralph Gar get it is the question. And he cannot. It's going to drop in for a triple for Jim Tyrone. Boy, the D20 was not kind to the Sox there, so now the infield's going to have to come in. They have no choice. They can't afford to give up another run if they can help it. Here's Manny Sanguillen. He reached on an infield single and went to second on an error, then went to third on a wild pitch. Infield is in. Nothing on the 20. We get a 1-3 against a lefty, and that's a ground ball first base B. So let me go to my handy dandy chart here with the infield in. Runner at third. Ground ball B is a 7. 7 says batter safe, lead runner is out. So they threw him out. They threw out Tyrone at the plate. So that's going to go 3-2 on the force play. Lamar Johnson fires into Downing. They put the tag on. Sanguillen reaches on the fielder's choice. He will not be held at first base. So they were fortunate there to cut the run down. Here is Wayne Gross, lefty on lefty. Nothing going on there. 6-6, Kravec against the lefty. That's trouble. 1-14 is a double. 15-20 is a single. 2 stars on each. So the run cannot score. That is a 7, which is a double. So that's going to put runners at second and third with only 1 out. So the infield is going to have to go back in again. Bring the infield in once again for Tony Armas. Nothing doing there. Easily the worst outing for Kravec in quite some time. 110. That is a ballpark single check, which is 1-6. Anything else that's a liner to short, and then everybody will have to hold. So 1-6 is going to be a base hit, potentially. And it is. Of course, the D20 has just not been kind to the Sox at all. That will be a single 1 star. Puts runners on the corners. It's now 4-0 A's. And Ken Kravec's wondering what he's got to do to catch a break. This is just not good. All right, here's Tim Hosley. Infield now playing for double play depth because Hosley can hit into some double plays. Doesn't run all that well. But you wonder, I think you know what? They're going to play they're going to play the infield in. They can't take a chance on a ground ball B being a fielder's choice and letting a run score. So the infield's going to come in. They're going to try to cut that run at the plate. 210, it doesn't matter. It's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So it's a moot point right there. That loads the bases with 1 out. The infield is still in. And Kravec in deep doo-doo. Bullpen already loosening. Bart Johnson, the long reliever, is already tossing down there. Could be a short outing for Kravec. Nothing on the 20. Scott, 2-5, and that's a walk. He's going to force a run in on a walk. And that is walk number 4 for Ken Kravec, plus he's hit a batter. So he just is not on today. For whatever reason, he just doesn't have it. And I think they're going to go ahead and make the change. They can't wait around much longer. Obviously, he doesn't have it. It's unfortunate. He's their ace, but even aces have bad games. So they're going to go ahead and go to the bullpen for Bart Johnson, their long reliever. And Kravec, easily the shortest outing of the year for him. He only went 3 1/3, facing 19 batters, but he's given up 5 runs, and all 3 runners on base are his responsibility as well. So his ERA will definitely go up. Here's Picholo. Infield is still in. It's loaded. Bart Johnson. That's a nothing on the 20. Here's Picholo. 6-9, and that's a... He doesn't have normal power, which is a good thing. 1 for a home run, 2-20, that was double. That might clear the bases. That is a 12. It's definitely a double. And the way Scott runs at first base, he was not being held. Scott runs at a 17. He wasn't being held. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get him either, but we'll try it. We'll see if we can get him. Let's see what the arm is. This center field. Oh, it's a 0 arm because Chet Lemon's a 0 arm. It's assumed to go to center field. He's got a 0 arm. So it's 1-17. There's only one out, so you don't get the 2-out boost. But it's 1-17, and he's in there. And he is. So it's a base-clearing double for Rob Piccolo. All those runs are charged to Kravec. He is responsible for 7 runs. And I want to say 6 of them are earned. Might be 5 of them earned. I have to go back and double-check it and let the computer figure it out. But it's bad either way you go. When it gets to be 7-0, I'm sorry it's not a closer game, guys. I was expecting this to be a pitching duel, but the A's had other ideas. Here's Mitchell Page. 5-9. I forgot to roll the D20. It probably doesn't even matter at this point. 5-9 is a walk, so yet another walk. The A's are going to end up batting around. As the 9th man comes up, Mike Jorgensen, there's still only 1 out. Johnson to Jorgensen. Nothing there. Infield still in. 5-4. 5-4 is a ground ball, third base X. That's Soderholm. He's a 2E11. 2 and a 7. Let's see what the 2 and the 7 provides. A 2 and a 7 is a G2. G2, which is equivalent to a B. And that's a 10, so no error on the 10. So let's go to our chart. Let's see here. Actually, we're going to use this, I think. G2 with the bases loaded. In the end, you get the leader. You get the lead runner. That's what it says here, lead runner. So that's what I'm going to go by. So it is going to be a 5-2 fielder's choice at the plate to nab. Let's see, or was there? You know what? I take that back. Not, the bases were not loaded. It's runners at first and second. So let's revisit that. Let's go back and look. There might be a double. Let's see. Runners at first and second is still the leader with the infield in. So that means Soderholm is going to step on the bag, 5 unassisted on the fielder's choice. It's getting messy around here. We now have a bat around. So the guy who started the inning is going to come up again. Mr. Tyrone, he started the whole thing off with a triple. Nothing there. 3-8 against a right-hander, and that's damage done for Tyrone. He has a chance to hit a home run and a triple in the same inning. 1-9 is a home run. It would be a 3-run shot. 10-20 is a double. So 1-9, he goes deep. It's a 19. It's a double. So Jim Tyrone has tripled and doubled in the same inning. It will score Page from second for sure. Jorgensen, who was not being held as a trail runner, and he gets a 2-out boost. So it's a 13 plus 2 outs makes him a 15, plus not being held makes him a 16. And the 0 arm of Chet Lemon, 1-16, he scores. At 17, they threw him out. How about that? Chet Lemon. So all 3 outs came at the plate. How do you like that? We'll call it 8-6-2. All 3 Oakland outs came at the plate. All of them. I'm sorry, no. One was at third. The other 2 were at the plate. But either way, it was ugly. They sent 10 to the plate. And let's see how many runs officially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs this inning. It's 9-0 Oakland as we go to the bottom of the 4th. So this is not made for TV for sure. Vita Blue is just going to probably coast the rest of the way. Like I said, I wish it was a closer game. I don't have the big Al Red Sox fan ability to be that entertaining when it's a blowout. But we'll see. Here's Alan Bannister, 6-7 against Vita Blue. Ground ball second base X. That's a 4E32 for Scott. 4-12, he'll get to that. E32. E32 and a 7 is probably going to be okay. E32 and a 7 is just fine. So that's out number 1. Brings up George Orta. 3-6 against a lefty. That's a 1 for a single. Anything else, he lines it to the first baseman Jorgensen, which he does for out number 2. So the bottom score sheet here is very clean. The other one's a mess. Here's Richie Zisk, grounded to short his first trip. 3-5 against the lefty. He'll get a single. That's the second hit of the game for the Sox. He, of course, will not be held. Hi, John. How you doing? Well, I mean, when you're playing the Sox, it doesn't matter what fielding chart you use. You're going to get errors. I found that out the hard way. All right, so here's Lamar Johnson. Runner, of course, not being held. The score being 9-0. 3-9 for Johnson. He grounds to short, and that's going to end the inning. So Vida Blue just coasting along here, and Bart Johnson's going to have to take the brunt of this for the Sox. They could also bring in Silvio Martinez, who's another long reliever, kind of their junk guys, if you want to call it that, and save their bullpen for the rest of the series. Here's Manny Sanguillen, start the 5th. 3-7 against a right-hander. He's going to ground to short. And there's one away. Brings up Wayne Gross. Oh, one good thing you won't have to worry about extra innings. 1-6 is a strikeout. So Bart Johnson trying to cool things right where they are. And I think the A's may be figuring we've got enough already. 4-6, maybe not. 1-15 is a single for Tony Armas. And he will get that single. He will not be held, and he will not try to steal, obviously. Here's Tim Housley, or Hosley, or Hosley. Nothing on the 20. 3-5, and he will walk. Just what they need, more walks. And that's going to put runners at first and second with 2 outs for Rodney Scott, top of the order. 2-9 against a right-hander. He struck him out. So unless the score gets closer, nobody's going to be held on base anymore because it just doesn't make any sense. Nobody's going to steal with the score being what it is. I'm not going to allow it. So no holding runners on for until we, if and when a game gets within reason. And when I say in reason, I mean within like 3 or 4 runs. So if the Sox put up a 5 spots or something like that, then I'll institute that back again. But other than that, I'm just going to keep it going without having to worry about holding runners. All right, here is Chet Lemon. 2-10 for Lemon against Vida Blue. That's a fly to right. One away, and that's going to bring up Eric Soderholm. 6-7 ground ball, second base X. Again, a 4.32. He's been up to the task twice. But how many times can Scott go to the well? Well, 4-18 is fine. E32 and a 9. I think that's okay too. So he has, 11 and 15 are the ones he doesn't want. So he's okay. He's been up to the task. 3 tough grounders, and he's fielding them all, despite his 4.32 average. Here's Nordhagen. 3-5 for Nordhagen. That's a solid single, but when you get these 2-out singles, it doesn't really do a whole lot for you. Here is Kessinger. I will go ahead and roll this just in case. Nothing happening. Here's Kessinger. 5-3. 5-3 is a ground ball pitcher X. Vida Blue's a 4E15. 4E15. 4-11, he'll get to that. E15. And E15. E15, and that is a 15. That's interesting. For Vida Blue, a pitcher, E15 and a 15 is no error, though. He makes the play. So Vida Blue up to the task. And that's the end of the 5th. So I hope the chatter is good because the game score is not. But every once in a while you get these little, I don't know what you call them, but blowout's not the right word for it. But stinkers, maybe, that's a good name for it. All right, so Bart Johnson's still in there, trying to eat some innings. Here's Piccolo. 5-2, and that's a fly to center. Chet Lemon's got that, one away. After they play Oakland for 3 games, they finish up the homestand here. Then they take a trip out west to Seattle for 3 games. Well, actually 4 games. It's a 4-game trip in Seattle. That'll be the next video after this one because the other 2 Oakland games will be offline. All right, here is Mitchell Page. 2-10 for Mitchell Page, and that's a ballpark single check, which is a 1-6. Nope, can't do it, so it's going to be a liner to second base. 2 down. For Mike Jorgensen. Jorgensen the batter. 5-4, lefty. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm. He's a 2E11. 2-13, he'll get to that. E11. An E11, and that is a 13. Third base, E11. Nope, 6, 15, and 17 are bad, but 13's fine. So that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the A's, but they don't have to do anything. They're already up 9-0. They really don't have to do anything else the whole game. And Vida Blue seems to be on cruise control. So Vida Blue back out. Start the 6th, facing Brian Downing. 5-11, and that's a ground ball to short, handled by Piccolo. One away, and that brings up Alan Bannister, the shortstop. 3-2 against a lefty, and that's a walk. First walk issued by Vida Blue in this game. And again, not holding any runners on and not stealing anything. Nothing on order. 5-7. 5-7 against the lefty. 1-18 is a single with 1 star. 19-20 grounds to first. And that's a single 1 star. So first time in the game, the Sox have 2 runners on at the same time. Not that that constitutes a rally in this game for them, as bad as they've been doing. Here's Richie Zisk. Nothing on the 20. Zisk. 2-11 for Zisk. That's a 1-9 double, 10-20 single, so a run will finally score to break the Schneid. Just a matter if it's a double or a single. It is a single, but it's 2 stars worth. So Bannister will score the first run of the game to cut it to 9-1. No visions of grandeur of a comeback, just at least it gets the shutout off the board. And now runners are at the corners with 1 away for Lamar Johnson. Lamar Johnson, first baseman, is grounded to short twice. 3-7 against a left-hander, and he's going to strike out. So Lamar Johnson out on strikes, out number 2 for Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon has singled, got caught stealing, and flown to right. Lemon against Blue, 2-9, struck him out. So Vida Blue comes back to strike out the last 2 he faces. Got mad, giving up the run, I guess. It's now 9-1 after 6 complete. And I think that's going to be, let's see, will they let Bart Johnson keep going? They'll let Bart Johnson keep going on. Why not? Not that it matters. Here's Jim Tyrone. He has tripled and doubled his last 2 in the first 2 innings, or in the 4th inning, rather. He tripled and doubled in the same inning. He's also walked, so he's had a perfect day. 4-6. 4-6 is a 1-15 single. And if he gets that single, he'll be a home run short of the cycle. I've never had a cycle before. 1-15 is a single. And, of course, a 19, when you want the guy to get a single, he doesn't do it. So it's a ground ball to first for out number 1. So he's out of there, and here's Sanguian. 4-3 against Bart Johnson. It's a fly ball right field X. That's Nordhagen. He's a 3 E16. 3 and a 9, he'll get to that. E16 could be the problem. And E16, and we are, oops, let me get my sheet here. E16 and an 8. E16 and an 8. There is no 8, so it's a good play for Mr. Nordhagen. We're out number 2. Brings up Wayne Gross. 6-3 for Gross against Bart Johnson. That's a fly ball left field X, and that's going to be Bannister, who's normally a shortstop, but he does play left field once in a while. And he's a 3 E5 as an outfielder. 3 and a 10, he'll get to that. E5. E5 and an 11. Should be all right, I would hope. E5 and an 11. Yep, 14 is the bad number, not 11. So the catch to end the inning. So Bart Johnson has pitched 3+ innings of shutout relief. So that's definitely helped their bullpen out. And Vida Blue will start. This will be his fatigue inning, which is the number 7 inning. And with all this shenanigans or not shenanigans, but shellacking on the part of the A's, I almost forgot to drum up the lone source of entertainment that's probably on this video right now, and that's Harry. So let's go to the 7th inning stretch with Harry. Hey, if Harry knew what the score was, he would not be that enthusiastic, I don't think. But, oh well. Maybe he would if he had enough beer. All right, here's Soderholm to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Again, this is Vida Blue's fatigue inning. 210. 210 is a solid home run for Eric Soderholm, so it must have at least perked up Eric Soderholm enough, did Harry Carey, to cause that home run. Cuts the lead to 9-2. Of course, with the Sox, nobody's on base. That's par for the course for them, those solo homers. Here's Wayne Nordhagen. 4-7 against Vida Blue, and that's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. Has not reached the point of weakness as of yet. So that strikeout will stand. Here's Don Kessinger. 1-9. He's going to pop it up to Piccolo at short. 2 down. So the rally was short-lived with the home run from Soderholm. Looks like doomsday the rest of the way. Here's Downing. 2-7 for Downing. He does draw a 2-out walk to flip the order over to Alan Bannister. Nothing on the 20. 5-4. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. That's Wayne Gross. And Gross defensively checking in at 4 E31. So not very good. Neither team very good fielding. Now 4 and a 3 is definitely going to get through for a hit. I believe it's 2 stars. 4 and a 3 is a single 2 stars. It certainly is. But there could be an error as well. Again, he's an E31. E31 and a 6. E31 and a 6 for a third baseman is no error. He has to have a 10, 11, 14, 15, or 18 for an error. But it's a single 2 stars. So that will put runners at the corners with 2 down. As Bannister snuck it by the outstretched glove of Wayne Gross in his limited range. Here's George Orta. Nothing. Orta facing blue. 5-11. That's a ground ball to second, and Scott's up to the task. So just the one run, the lone run, that home run from Soderholm. And for Soderholm, look at his numbers. For Soderholm, that was home run number 22 on the replay, and RBI 63. Not that that matters. But now we go to the top of the 8th, and I believe the Sox will now go to the bullpen to let somebody else pitch for a bit. So let's see who they're going to turn to. They're going to turn to right-hander Don Kirkwood. Don Kirkwood is on, sacrificial lamb. So we had Johnson pitch quite a bit, and now Kirkwood's going to see if he can pitch an inning. Really doesn't matter at this point. When it's 9-2, you can probably throw out anybody you want to. All right, here's Tony Armas. 4-6, 4-6. 1-5 is a single. Anything else, he grounds to third. And it's, again, the D20. Not kind to the Sox. Low percentage chance turns into a base hit. Of course, he will not be held. Here's Tim Hosley, or Hosley. 1-11, and that's a ballpark single, which is 1-6. And Dollars Donuts, this is going to be a 1-6. And there it is. Called it right there. Should go to Vegas with these rolls. All right, so runners at first and second. Nobody out for Rodney Scott. Nothing on the 20. Scott now batting left-handed as a switch hitter. 6-8. Ground ball second base A. That's going to be a double play. So that will certainly help the cause. So let's see. 4-6-3. Double play. Runner Armas will go to third, but now there are 2 outs with a runner at third for Rob Piccolo. And Peach. 17. Nothing's going on. Piccolo. 5-7. Base hit to right field off of Kirkwood. That'll force another run, and it is now 10-2. That run charged to Kirkwood. 10-2. Here's Mitchell Page. Nothing happening. Mitchell Page. 110. That's a ballpark home run, but again, it's 0 with the bad weather, so it's simply going to be a fly out to end the inning. Run does score. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 10-2 in favor of the A's. Vida Blue back out. He did give up a home run and a walk and a single. So anything else, next base runner he gives up, he will hit his fatigue rating. And I believe the A's have bullpen activity. They do have Joe Coleman, a righty, in the bullpen to take over in case Blue falters. Here's Richie Zisk. He's 2 for 3, 2 singles. 6-6. He will fly to center this time. Armas is there, 1 away. 1 down for Lamar Johnson. 0 for 3. 6-11. That's a ballpark single chance, 1-6 once again. And this time, since the Sox are batting, it's guaranteed to be a 7 through a 20. Oh, how about that? Trick me on that one. The D20's been coming up with low numbers here lately. And I don't know a way to roll it through this dice tray to make that happen. It's just happening. All right, here's Chet Lemon. Nothing on the 20. And right now, Blue is fatigued because he gave up that single. 5-11 against a right-hander. It doesn't matter. It's a ground ball shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play. And Vida Blue is going for the complete game in the 9th. It's a 10-2 game, and they got plenty of leeway to give him that chance for that complete game. Unless he really gives up a whole lot, they're going to let him try the complete game, if at all possible. All right, so Don Kirkwood's going to come out and try to finish this thing off for the Sox and have them only use 3 pitchers, which would be a miracle, giving up 10 runs, only using 3 pitchers, but they'll see what they can do. Top of the 9th, 10-2, favor of Oakland. Here's Jorgensen. 1-8. 1-8 is a strikeout. So 1 away, and here comes Tyrone. Jim Tyrone has doubled and tripled. He narrowly missed a single in his last chance, on a split chance. 3-9, 3-9. He's got a chance for another triple. It's not a good one. It's a 1. Anything else, he flies to right. But he's got a 5% chance for another triple. Yeah, no, it's going to fly to right. 2 down. And that brings up Manny Sanguillen. So I'm still on my quest for a cycle. I have a no-hitter. Rolled a no-hitter on video, but I have not had a cycle video or off video. That's the one thing I'm still trying to get. 1-3, Sanguillen grounds to first. Johnson's got it. Innings over. 10-2, we go to the bottom of the 9th here in at Comiskey. Vida Blue, and again, Joe Coleman's still light tossing down there just in case Blue gets into trouble. He is fatigued, so we hit any dots on Blue's card, they will turn into hits. Here's Soderholm. He homered his last time up right after the Harry Carey. 5-9, and he's got a chance for no, it's 6-9. I'm sorry. 5-9's a fly to left. I almost misread that. Well, I did misread it, but I corrected it. So 5-9's a fly to left. That's handled by Mitchell Page. 1 down, and here's Soderholm. 3-3 against the lefty. I'm sorry, Nordhagen, not Soderholm. Soderholm just hit. That's another fly to left. So Mitchell Page getting both flyouts. 2 down. It's up to Don Kessinger. Last chance. I don't know why I rolled a 20. Nobody's on base. That's how discombobulated this game has made me. 2-6. 2-6 is a single for Kessinger, so he keeps it going for 1 more time with a base hit. That allows Brian Downing to get his 4th at bat. Not that it'll do him any good, but he gets his 4th time to the plate. He's walked once, so he's only had 2 at bats, 3 plate appearances. 3-10, and that's a 1-17 single, so he might still keep it going. 18-20, he lines out to Scott. And it's a base hit, 1 star, puts runners at first and second. And Alan Bannister, who flipped the order over again. 14, nothing on that. So Blue trying to finish this game off. 1-10, and he will. It's a ground ball to third. Gross has it. He will flip the short way to second base to force Downing, and the ball game is over. Oakland wins it by the score of 10-2 in a thumping, drubbing, whatever adjective you want to come up with. It was ugly. And the Sox now drop to 79-72. In real life, they finished the season 90-72, so I would have to win the last 11 games in a row to match the Sox regular season record. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Now, with the loss, they fall into an exact tie with the Twins for the AL West third place position. As we see with the standings now, the Sox will now be 79-72, just like Minnesota. And they'll be 12.5 games back of Texas. Oakland was in last place. They're now 61-87. So the Sox having trouble with some of these lesser teams. They get 2 more games with Oakland at home, and then they go to Seattle for 4. Then they go to Minnesota for 2, and then come home for Seattle to finish the season. But again, Boston and Baltimore, 1 game apart in the replay, and they play each other the last 2 games of the season. So if they're within 2 games of each other, I will do videos on these last 2 as a pennant race thing to be more exciting than playing a Chicago-Seattle game that doesn't mean anything. So I appreciate you guys that are hanging with me. Again, apologize for the blowout, but When you start rolling games, you don't know how the dice is going to turn out. I mean, who would have thought it would be a blowout when you had Ken Kravec, their top ace pitcher, going in the game against the last place Oakland A's? But that's why you play the games, as somebody once said. So, hope you're enjoying your Tuesday, wherever you are, this late Tuesday afternoon, early Tuesday evening. Be sure to check out Al Red Sox and RJL's channels for sure, Appa Chatter's channel. They may be doing some streaming here tonight, sometime or another. Al usually does his later in the night, but you never know when it's going to happen. Tri-Fan might be out there with another Stratomatic game and a season replay. He puts those out periodically. I think he does them like once a week and kind of gives an update. So check out his channel as well. Thanks to John West for tuning in. And like I said, if I could have gotten a closer game and ordered that, I would have done so. But Dice had other ideas. So I'm going to play the last two games of the Oakland series offline. Next video in this season replay, which only has, now the game 151 is in the books. We got, if I'm counting right, we got, let's see here, 79-72, so they got 11 games left. So 11 games remain in the replay, season replay. I'm also going to be, as this is finishing up, I'm going to be doing something with the inside pitch. I'm going to be bringing back an oldie but goodie from inside pitch. So working on getting that all set up to go, and that'll be coming up shortly, maybe this weekend. Also playing some payoff pitch offline as well, but inside pitch is the one I'm mainly looking to do the videos on. So again, thank you guys for tuning in and bearing with me through all of this not so great game between Oakland and Chicago, as the Sox just, right from the get-go, they gave up 3 runs in the first. It was a bad omen, obviously. So what are you going to do when that happens? So until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the other content creators that are putting out videos, whether they be the guys that are here in the channel now, or you got a plethora of other guys. You got Utah Mike, and you got the two Earls. ID is now doing the war stuff, so if you like the war stuff, you can do that. Espo is now doing cards, so if you like the trading cards, you can do that. You got Tabletop Delaware. Chris is doing some stuff, and you got, of course, Rob exclamation point, and you got Anthony, who just recently passed 500 subscribers. He's doing his Glory Days boxing and an occasional payoff pitch replay from the 1921 season, kind of co-opting that with RJL. And I'm trying to think if there's anybody I'm forgetting. I'm sure Beatles Eternally, if you like the computer versions. You got an OOTP that he's doing some games on with that. Of course, you've got Steve from After Further Review, who does a lot of things with Play.com. Check his stuff out. I'm trying to think if there's anybody. I know when I started down this road of listing people, I knew I was going to be in trouble because I'm going to start forgetting people that I obviously ought to know or remember. And now I'm drawing a blank on anybody else. Dave Gardner, Ron Juckett with Retro Sports. He's doing his Action PC Baseball replay, 1978. So just 1 year removed from this particular season. And all the other ones, if I forget, I'll just do an umbrella and say anybody that's a content creator, go ahead and check them out and support them. Give them a like and encourage them, because for some people, I know when I first started, it was kind of, didn't know what I was going to do, didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, but sometimes it's a little bit cautious and you don't know what to expect or how you're going to be greeted or whatever the case may be. So for those that are putting themselves out there on video, please support them and tell them that you appreciate their efforts and the time that they're taking into their projects or one-offs or whatever they're doing. So I think RJL probably will have another payoff pitch 94 game scheduled this evening at some point. So check that out. And Al may very well have some either Action PC football or Action PC Baseball or OOTP. He's got a variety of things. Could be Glory Days Boxing, several different things. Pine Tar, all sorts of things could be out there, so check him out. And of course, check out Tabletop Earl and Tenacious Earl, particularly Tenacious Earl. Tabletop's been kind of quiet lately. Tenacious, of course, got the golf, History Maker Golf in his fictional league, I think he's doing with that, and of course the TBL with Stratomatic. So let's go do it from here. I'm going to get out of here and grab myself some dinner, I think. So enjoy the rest of your evening. It's only Tuesday. Tomorrow's hump day, so we're getting closer to the weekend as we inch on minute by minute and hour by hour. The weekend is getting closer. It's almost here. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.